Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Sofiat Husna binti Muhammad Zaki and I'm from ED 2415C. Today I'm going to present on a free verse poem which is actually made based on imageries of senses that we've learned on a previous class. So today I'm going to present the poem first and then explain the imageries and also explain the reasons why I included those imageries in order to make sense of the whole poem. And the poem is actually made based on my favorite perfume ever, and this is only because the scent is just so amazing. And I also in love with the Guerlain brand, which is actually a Parisian brand. So let me read the poem first. Poem, Mon Guerlain, you're my Guerlain. The shiny, pale pink of quadrilock bottle, beautifully enhanced by a luxurious glass wig and a golden adornment, offers a contrast between strong taut lines and sensual curves. The delicately artistic perfume stares up at me from the vanity. Adverts of Angelina Jolie expressing contemporary femininity, infused with an elixir of joy, the joy of life, as truth is preferred even when there is a fairy tale. Smooth and glassy, I firmly cover the mouth of the bottle with my wrist. Flip it twice and put it down. The nozzle is pressed gently until it sprays of matte and misty. You begin incredibly loud and soft, involving but discreet, with a giant vanilla cookie floating over a field of lavender. Then quickly disappears sprays of bergamot, just one to re-wrap up in it like in a cashmere sweater, each of my emotions in hyperdrive until then not alive. The vanilla, so heavy, sweet, and oppressively coming along. Well, there it was, the one-dimensionality, the boredom. Rather, it was the cozy, pompous, pressing aroma that reminds me of emotional memory. I wondered what could be so fascinating about such monotony. So I decided to wait for the scent to run. Instead, it receives a discreet powdery touch. The now powdery vanilla sweetness is complemented by a floral nature of jasmine and sandalwood. In fact, what I was waiting for happened, a transformation, a soft iris swinging in the wind. The House of Guerlain, you express the quintessence of 3 centuries replete with experiences, nourished by success, expertise, and generosity, all infused with the same ardor. As are you nice, you have my vote all over again for an elegant and light-hearted option. Now I'm going to explain on the imageries that are available in each stanzas of the poem. So let's go with the first stanza of the poem first. For the first stanza of the poem, the words shiny, pale pink, and quadrilock are the visual imageries in the first line. For the second line, the visual imageries are luxurious glass wig and golden adornment. The visual imageries for the third line are strong taut lines and sensual curves, while in the fourth line, the visual imageries are delicately artistic and vanity. For the fifth line, the visual imagery is adverts of Angelina Jolie, while contemporary femininity is an organic imagery. For the sixth line, elixir of joy, joy of life is another organic imagery. The reason why I include those imagery is because I want to describe about the shape of the bottle in the first line. This is because the bottle is absolutely gorgeous, very chic and elegant. It is the quadrilock bottle which was created in 1908 and established itself as one of Guerlain's iconic bottles. The bottle owes its name quadrilock to its stopper, which is formed from one place to obtain a shape resembling 4 lobes. 1 century later, the bottle design was beautifully enhanced by a luxurious glass wig and a golden adornment on the neck, expressing contemporary femininity, and it just looks really beautiful. And also, the House of Guerlain really does not make a habit of picking celebrities to front their fragrances. But with this latest launch, they have broken with tradition entirely and have chosen Angelina Jolie. I think Angelina Jolie brings to Mon Guerlain not just timeless physical beauty, but also a generosity of spirit that is very much in tune with Guerlain's own environmental work. It feels perfectly fit. For Mon Guerlain, Guerlain has been inspired by Angelina Jolie's free spirit nature to create modern fragrance that is strong, feminine, and just free. For the second stanza of the poem, the tactile imagery can be found in the first line, which is smooth and glassy. Whenever I touch the perfume, it feels so smooth and glassy. The word cover, flip, and put in the second line is kinesthetic imagery. They denote movements when I want to apply the perfume. The visual imagery is mouth of the bottle and wrist. For the third line, the word nozzle is the visual imagery, while the word press and sprays describes the kinesthetic imagery. The word matte and misty refers to auditory imagery. For the fourth line, the auditory imageries are loud, soft, involving, and discrete. For the fifth line, the whole line refers to visual imagery. This is because you can imagine a big size of vanilla cookie floating like spreading on top of the field full of lavenders. Moreover, bergamot is a fragrant citrus fruit from the tropical Citrus bergamia plant, so it is a visual imagery. For the seventh line, the whole sentence is a visual imagery. This is because the reader will imagine a person who wants to be wrapped up in a scent like a cashmere sweater. For the last line, emotions in hyperdrive refer to organic imagery as it involves feelings of being positive and free-spirited radiated from within. It's like giving a remedy so that one's heart can beat once again. So Mon Guerlain opens with a tiny shimmer of bergamot before unleashing a glorious lavender note. Lavender is a smell of summer and it portrays a vast number of nuances, smelling minty fresh, herbal and sweet like caramelized sugar. In Mon Guerlain, the lavender used is Carla variety grown in Provence, which has a touch of the herbaceous freshness of the material. But for most of the parts, all sugar, showcasing a gorgeous lilac shaded marzipan white that may be high in calories, but is also remarkably translucent. So Mon Guerlain will change your opinion of lavender, and I reckon you may just fall in love. And also underneath all of that lavender is a robust gourmand base that pairs vanilla and sandalwood together in perfect harmony. The result is a clash of soft, supple sweetness and gauzy woodiness that creates a really interesting texture in the base. Together, these notes create a buttery quality that is reminiscent of hard toffee candies. And as a contrast to the lavender, Mon Guerlain's toffee base of vanilla and sandalwood is warming, velvety, and sensual in a way that only Guerlain knows how to do so. For the third stanza of the poem, in the first line, the word vanilla is a visual imagery, while heavy, sweet, and oppressively refers to auditory imagery. Oppressively coming along is a visual imagery. For the second line, one-dimensionality is a visual imagery, while boredom is an organic imagery. For the third line, the word cozy refers to organic imagery, while pompous, praising aroma is an olfactory imagery. The word emotional memory is both visual and organic imagery. For the fourth line, the word fascinating is an organic imagery. For the fifth line, sent to run is a visual imagery. For the sixth line, discrete powdery touch is a textile imagery as well as the word powdery in seventh line. In seventh line, the word sweetness and floral is the olfactory imagery, while jasmine and sandalwood is a visual imagery. For the eighth line, the whole sentence refers to both visual and kinesthetic imagery. Based on this stanza, this fragrance is classified as Oriental gourmand and is more of a mass appealing fragrance. This is a very sophisticated Oriental powdery aromatic vanilla, which is sweet and beautiful fragrance. There is a very subtle hint of florals, but it won't bother those who are not into florals. The floral aspect will come through when you get to the heart of the fragrance, and is a combination of rose, iris, and jasmine. But it is very subtle and is mostly in the background. I also get sandalwood in the dry down, which makes this fragrance very creamy. There is a little bit of tonka bean there, which makes it truly appealing and sensual. For the last stanza of the poem, in the first line, the house of Guerlain is a visual imagery, while in the second line, the word nourished by success, expertise, and generosity is an organic imagery. The phrase 3 centuries replete with experiences is a visual imagery. The word ardor in the third line is an organic imagery. For the fourth line, the word reminisce evokes an organic feeling, thus it is an organic imagery. While the phrase you have my vote all over again refers to visual imagery. In the last line, the word elegant and light-hearted option is both an organic imagery. Guerlain is one of the oldest perfume, skincare, and cosmetic house in the world. So this is why I incorporate those imagery so that I can describe how great the Parisian brand is. So it is a Parisian brand and has been in business since 1828. So Mon Guerlain is part of the fragrances that evoke almost 200 or 300 years of history, nourished by success, expertise, and generosity, which illuminated by the passionate Guerlain perfumers. And Guerlain Marne Guerlain is more of subtly sweet and sophisticated fragrance, which is very safe and comforting, even though it is very sensual and sexy. So this goes very well for the cozy type of situation. So that's all from me. Thank you.